How is it possible to be in the wrong place at the wrong time so many times?
Pacman Jones in jail. Well, not in jail yet. He's headed to jail. He will be headed to jail November the 29th and must serve 30 days of this sentence that could have been like upwards of 4 or 5 months. He punched and kicked a man in the head, causing him to lose consciousness. I want to add in there, the guy was a bouncer at a club.
This is the bar fight, right? That Pat McAfee had him on and said, "How are you, Pac? Are you okay?"
Is that the same one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that was from last year. I want to add in there, it was a bouncer that was kicking him out of the club that he punched and kicked in the head. He has now been sentenced to 30 days jail. After serving his jail time, he will serve 9 months of community control. I guess that's probation. And
ankle bracelet, maybe.
He also is ordered to stay away from the victim. He reports November 29th, and after he's released, he will have a 9 p.m. curfew. That might be the biggest penalty for him. He has a 9 p.m. curfew, and he must abstain from alcohol.
Two things from me on this.
2 things that won't happen.
Yeah, I have
That's my 2 things.
I have no problem with people who have threatened my life going to jail for any span of time. And that list is 1. So I'm okay with this. And I'd really...
And you believed it when he said it.
Yeah, I believe it.
When he says it, you kind of have a way to believe it.
I did, but I told my wife, like, listen, he's threatening somebody else's life. By the time I've gotten home and told you this story, we're off the hook. If it doesn't happen within a half an hour, he's on to threatening somebody else. Also, I wish we had phones because his godmother would be calling in today. And she's radio gold. She is radio gold.
Pacman Jones' godmother, for those that don't know.
Explain this,
it's our show, but our old place.
This is after he came into. He was invited in by Eddie George. To be part of Eddie George's number retirement.
Yeah, it was all about the homecoming for former Titans players, and you spoke out against Pacman,
as I always do,
and you ranted about it, and then we got a call from Pacman Jones' godmother, and she proceeded to call Paul Kuharsky everything but nice, and it was good. It was old school radio gold from this lady.
So I just looked up Pacman Jones legal troubles just to see if we could get a running tally.
Is there enough room on the web?
There's not, because whenever he joined the Broncos briefly, the paper there ran a story of the new Bronco Pacman Jones's top 13 legal issues. Came up with
cut it down to 13. Lucky 13.
Yes.
This is like one of those BuzzFeed polls. You could just have legal run-ins.
Tom Urbanski, the guy who's paralyzed.
This is clickbait. Do you have to go to each story and click one at a time and go to all 13 pages?
Like
one of those types of stories?
Show.
Now, some of these, what he was charged with were ultimately dismissed. Like there was right after he was drafted, that the summer after he was drafted in 2005 here in Nashville with the Titans, he got in a bar fight. This was after the pool cue incident at West Virginia. He got in a bar fight, punched a guy in the face, and ripped off this $400,000 necklace. Paul, you may remember covering this. He ripped off this $400,000 necklace.
Was this Big Daddy Gaddy?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Well, was that at the place where you used to do your pregame show?
Well, there was one at like Bluesboro, right? Or somewhere in Murfreesboro.
Bluesboro,
this
he
was
spat
well
on
after.
a woman.
Yeah,
that was
the
spitting on the woman. I love how we're getting all the instance mixed up.
But I remember that one because that was right before his holdout. And then like 30 days into camp, he showed up and signed his contract or whatever. But that was ultimately dismissed from the records.
Well, one of the smartest things he did...
There are plenty of other issues that were not.
Peter Schaefer's his Denver-based agent. So when he landed with the Broncos, Peter Schaefer had Pacman befriend Peter Schaefer's son, who may or may not have some sort of issue. I don't remember that part. But he befriended Peter Schaefer's young son. And then Lindsey Jones, who's president of the Pro Football Writers Association now, she did a feature on Pacman Jones, a redemptive feature. Look how he's with Peter Schaefer's son. It's loving. He's a new man. All of this stuff. I like Lindsey Jones.
You had words for Lindsey Jones.
I said something about her on the air, and I sent her a DM, and I said, "You're going to regret this story. This guy's not redeemable. It's a mistake for you to have done this story." And she didn't respond, and we never talked about it. But sure enough, like I couldn't help. That's when I brought her up, is when he was next arrested. And I said, it doesn't matter if he plays checkers with Peter Schaefer's son. Well, the guy is irredeemable.
I found a story from pre-Broncos, Pacman Jones. This was 2009. ESPN story that has timeline of incidents. This is like the Bruce Pearl timeline. Timeline of incidents since the Titans drafted him in 2005. Hutton, you mentioned the nightclub altercation was number one. Arrested in Fayetteville, Georgia, charged with possession of marijuana. A felony count of obstruction and 2 misdemeanors of obstructing police. April 2006. Surveillance camera footage. Jones is one of 12 people gathered at a gas station when a fight breaks out. Gunshots are then fired. Shortly
Just
after
like
that,
when you stop at a gas station,
arrested in
Chad.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Disorderly conduct.
Spitting.
Public intoxication. Spitting on a woman.
That's a popular one. He loves to. He's got a saliva
Later that same year,
gland.
we're still in 2006. October 2006, cited for misdemeanor assault at Club Mystic, a Nashville nightclub, where he allegedly spits in the face of another female college student.
Spittle. There's a problem.
You're leading up to 2007. February 2007 is the strip club in Vegas with the $81,000 that he made it rain, and then allegedly threw a stripper's forehead against the bar stool.
The guy got shot.
This was the
paralyzed.
worst. February 19th, 2007, melee breaks out involving Jones after he decided to, quote, make it rain inside Meek's Gentlemen's Club in Las Vegas.
Now let's just pause
Minutes
there.
after the fight, hold on. Minutes after the fight, involving Jones inside the strip club, an unknown gunman shoots 3 people by the front entrance. Follow it up. March 9th, 2007. I love this quote. Gene Upshaw, then executive director of the NFL Players Association, asked this question: how is it possible to be in the wrong place at the wrong time so many times?
Everybody thinks, here's that and say, oh, he's making it rain. Making it rain was not a popular thing before this. This helped popularize the idea of making it rain.
It was popular, just not in our circles.
Yes.
I think the rest of the world understood what it was at that point.
We all came to understand making it rain.